hair porosity? What does it mean? What kind of products can I use? What is porosity? Well, let me tell you. Hey, it's your girl Tara Marie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm talking about hair porosity. Porosity. For those of you who don't know what that means, I didn't know what it meant until I started this natural hair care journey, this curly girl journey. I had no idea. I was like, porosity who? Porosity where? Porosity what? So today I got you. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the Tara Squad. I upload every Tuesday and Thursday. And also I post a bunch of extra looks on my Instagram at Beauty by Tara Marie. So go ahead and make sure to give me a follow on my Instagram as well. But to get into this video, today I will be talking about low, medium, and high porosity and what that means for you, because honestly, like, you need to know your hair porosity so you know what kind of products to use. Because if you are struggling on the struggle bus, trying to find out what hair products are best for your hair type, and you're dealing with frizz, you're dealing with oiliness, you're dealing with dryness, this video is for you. So first we're gonna go out and start out with low porosity. Low porosity hair means your cuticles are like, they're like this. They are bonded for life, they're sticking together, they are sealed shut. So what this means for your hair is your hair does not absorb water very easily because the hair cuticles are so sealed and they're so close, they're best friends, they're everything. So your hair cuticles are sealed and it's hard for water to get through, it's hard for moisture to get through, and you may have trouble drying your hair. So also people with low porosity hair, it takes them a really long time for their hair to dry. So if you feel like that fits into you, then you might have low porosity hair. Some tests that you can do to see if you have low porosity hair include a strand test. And what that is you take a single strand of your hair, like so, and if you move your finger up and down the strand of your hair and it feels pretty smooth, you're not feeling any kinks, you're not feeling any bumps, then you probably have low porosity hair. Another thing to test to see if you have low porosity hair is how long it takes for water to completely drench your hair when you wash it in the shower. So if you're in the shower and the water is literally beating up and sitting on top of your hair, that means your hair cuticles are so close that water is just chilling, like it's waiting. It's like, okay, I may just sit here because you're not trying to let me in. So that's another way to see if you have low porosity hair. Another way is some people do the water cup test. So like they take a cup of water like so. There's no water in here, but just pretend there's some water in this cup. And they'll take a strand of their hair and they'll drop it in. And if it floats, that's supposed to mean you have low porosity hair. If it's kind of wandering in the middle, it's supposed to be medium. And then if it sinks to the bottom, it means you have high porosity hair. But honestly, if you're like me and you like to consider the science, the facts behind the molecular makeup of water in your hair, that test doesn't really make so much sense to me because one, your hair has oils on it and oil floats. Two, the temperature of the water, say you have low porosity hair and you put your hair in hot water, it's going to open up those cuticles and it's more likely to sink to the bottom, right? Compared to cold hair, say you have normal to high porosity, you may seal them up a little bit. You may think you have normal porosity. I don't think it'll go all the way to the top for low, but I think the hair strand test and the other test to see, you know, dry test, how quickly your hair gets wet test is more accurate. So I would go with those. So now we're going to talk about high porosity hair. So high porosity is most likely hair that has been chemically altered in some way, dye, chemically treated, or it probably has some sort of heat damage. And there's levels to all of this. So you can be a super low porosity or you can be in the super high porosity, but I'm doing the generals because either way, I feel like when I get into the part of the video when I talk about which products are best for your porosity, I feel like that doesn't really matter as much. So for high porosity hair, it means your cuticles are sprayed. They are sprayed, they're flaying out, they kind of look like shingles on a roof a little bit, but they're like wide. So for high porosity hair, your hair absorbs water very easily, but then it also dries very easily. So the water is easy in, all the products, moisturizing products are easily to come in, but then they're also easily to flow out. So easy in, easy out for high porosity hair. So that's an issue because you deal with dryness, you're dealing with easily tangled hair. All right, so test to see if you have high porosity hair. The same test with the hair strand. If you take your hair strand and you're moving your hand like up and down the strand of hair and you feel small little bumps or you feel small little kinks, you're feeling the cuticles of your hair being spread open, so that's a good sign that you have high porosity hair. In the shower, again with water and moisture, if you are in the shower and your hair gets totally drenched very easily, that's another sign that you may have high porosity hair. And if it dries a little bit quicker, again, that's another sign that you may have high porosity hair. So what products are good for which level of porosity? Or actually, I should go for medium porosity hair. You don't really have either of these problems. If you feel like your hair doesn't really have the issues that low porosity hair does with the absorbing products, or you don't feel like you have the problems with high porosity hair, with drying too quickly or getting tangled, things like that, you may fall in the middle. And congratulations, you have nice hair. Moving on to which products are best for your porosity type. Low porosity hair does better with the lighter products. So that would mean you want to avoid products with heavy butters, creams, and the heavier oils like coconut oil and jojoba oil. Stay away from those. You want to pick lighter products. And you also want to stay away from too much protein because that can tend to make your hair hard. Similar to the coconut oil, when coconut oil cools down, it turns to a solid once it cools a little bit, depending on the temperature, which can make your hair feel harder. So oils that would be good for you are like grapeseed oil, argan oil, and aloe vera gel. So you want to stay away from heavy butters and lean more towards the thinner, lighter consistency types of products. And products, there are some lines out there, I know Shea Moisture is one, that'll actually put on their label what porosity is good for which products. So when you go to the store, be sure to look out for that as well. Also, for my ladies and gents with high porosity hair, you do want those really thick, heavy cream, heavy butter, like really thick consistency products to make sure that the moisture is staying in your hair. You also want to make sure that you're applying products to soaking wet hair because it just absorbs a little bit better that way. And then also, sorry, I'm like jumping back and forth, but I'm remembering things as I'm talking. So also for low porosity hair, things that'll help you absorb product better since your cuticles are shut is if you apply products to hot water. Like if you're washing your hair in warmer temperatured water, it's easier to help your cuticles open up, and so you can apply your deep conditioner, put on a shower cap, and let that sink in, and that's a good way to make sure that your products are absorbing into your hair. Whereas high porosity hair, you may want to rinse your hair in cold water to try to seal up those cuticles, so when you do apply your products, they're not, they're absorbing, but they're not exiting just as quickly as they're absorbing. So low porosity, warm water; high porosity, cold water. Now, back to the high porosity hair products. Going back to the oils, you want to use heavier oils like coconut oil and jojoba oil. And also, protein is your friend. It'll help strengthen your hair, and it helps strengthen those hair cuticles from any damage that you may have done to it with dyeing or heat damage or anything like that. So yeah, protein is your friend, heavy butters and heavy oils are your friend as well. And also rinsing your hair in cold water will be great for you. So I hope you learned something today about what type of hair porosity you have and what type of products would work best for your type of hair. And if you did, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification so that you're notified every time I upload a video every Tuesday and Thursday. And I'll see you on Tuesday for my next video.